everyone, this is Phoenolf and we are playing Terraria. Don't expect much action in this episode. My brain's mentally tired from exercising or planning out a proper strategy with Pontiff, or just basically playing Dark Souls. I reached Pontiff and Yorm, and Yorm won't be much of a problem, but Pontiff will be, so first off, before I continue on talking about Pontiff, we won't be doing much in this episode. We're just going to expand the house, do some house cleaning, you know, organize stuff. And with that, I'll just talk to you about my experience in Dark Souls 3 so far. So far I'm liking a lot. That statement itself doesn't really explain how I really feel about Dark Souls 3. But anyway, so what I noticed about Pontiff is that he doesn't have much HP, as I have noticed from other bosses. Maybe he does, just that I'm doing a lot of damage, and at the same time, I don't have a lot of HP. So, you could somewhat say it's like a glass cannon battle. Like, who has the most damage and who can take out the opposition in the most quickest of time. Okay, let me just take this and just place the banner. Pontiff isn't that much of a difficult boss, basically because I have spent like nearly a week against Freed and I forgot to record that fight. Basically, I eventually gave up and summoned a good friend to help me with the fight, and we stun-locked Freed. Yeah, I kind of forgot. In the heat of battle, I was like really excited that we have like a chance against Freed, and let me just see. Do I need to expand here? Maybe here at some point. Okay, let me just see if I can get anything from here. Quick stack. We're done with that. Anyway, so one of the reasons why I went to the DLC early is because if you beat the Ashes of Arendelle, anyway, if you beat that DLC, you can immediately jump to the Ringed City DLC, and in the entrance of the Ringed City DLC is, you know, the Dreg Heap, is the item that I needed the most, which is the Snake Ring +3, which gives you a frick ton of... Let me just see, okay, stack, okay, we don't need to do that, we're gonna take this. Anyway, so the Snake Ring gives like a lot of souls, so that makes like collecting souls way easier. Okay, we're good here. We have tables, we have stuff, okay. So, it kinda, I don't want to say trivializes things, but it made like traversing in the newer areas much more easier. So, the good part about Pontiff is that I have enough pyromancy to take him down. Even with some consumable items, I can reduce his HP quite a lot. But the problem is that he does like this mixture of fast and slow attacks, and sometimes he pauses between attacks and like fakes out. like he pretends like he's gonna do an attack, but eventually he doesn't. At first it seemed like all confusing, and I was like utterly confused. I didn't know what to do most of the time. But I'm slowly learning when to dodge some of his attacks. You can't backstab him, which sucks, but he can be parried, which is something I plan to do. But since I'm using like pyromancy spells and like somehow pyromancy is like the only thing that's doing most of the damage, I have a pretty good feeling about pyromancy being my main damage. Plus I have like enough Ashen Estus for, I think, a good amount of shots from one of the pyromancy spells. And what's funny is that during like me learning his moveset, when I made him reach to phase 2 and made him let out his clone, the pyromancy one-shotted the clone, which is a major plus for me. That means I don't have to stay a long time or worry about the clone being around for too long. That makes me happy so much. So let's see, this is crafty window. Oh, okay, this takes like frozen stuff. Ice block. I wonder where can you make the walls and stuff. I think here. Yeah, okay. No. Okay. So yeah, basically I'm just slowly learning how to dodge his attacks. Then slowly I can move my way. I can slowly go up to parrying his attacks. Although I highly doubt that me being able to parry him will make things easier, since like pyromancy is doing most of the damage, and even consumables like a kukri or whatever it's called, a kukri is doing a good amount of damage, like 160 per throw, and that is good. Like 160 per throw plus the pyromancy, that makes me so happy. And I'll be using the dragon form. The dragon form is a lot of fun. The dragon form gives me like a good amount of defense. Like, oh boy, during the training I expected so many times like, yep, this attack will kill me. But it didn't. It did not, so I am fairly surprised that the dragon form is like... I might even use the dragon form for future fights where it's all or nothing in this case. Let me just, you know, spruce up the place. Let me just add some fancy stuff. I'll add a sword here, and I'll add a slime. Oh yeah, right, I forgot. I'll be adding frozen steps. Even though it's frozen, you don't really slide. It acts like a normal platform, so that's a plus. We'll put you... Dude, okay. Up. Okay. Up. Up. And... we messed up. Okay, we could use a hammer. Okay, and it is connected. Okay, so we'll connect the next one. I'll clean it up later. Right now I just want to get this second floor done. What I like about Dark Souls is that it has these traps that is clever and stupid at the same time, where it's cleverly hidden, I would like to say, because sometimes you just wander in an area and a lot of the things are just red herrings. You just see it's like, this is obviously a trap. Then you find out that, oh no, there's another trap waiting for you, and there's another trap within that other trap that's waiting for you. But luckily, since I played Salt and Sanctuary and like games that have the same mindset as Dark Souls, which is, you know, it tends to be tricksy. It's like it hides a lot of things within plain view. Like I noticed that when I was like in the Airthville Valley, there was, so in Dark Souls you notice that sometimes you have like these items that are like in the form of like a shiny white ball. So in Airthville, the entire place is covered in ice or snow, and the lighting doesn't help too, because sometimes the lighting hides these items, so you could possibly be passing by a very good item, but you wouldn't have noticed it until like later on in the game, or you read guides and you'll be like, oh, I can't believe I passed that. And to be honest, that's quite normal, because that's how Dark Souls is. You pass by a lot of good items and you're like, oh, and you're like at the end of the game and you realize, oh, I found this, and you realize in the end, oh, it's just a normal item. So yeah, they hide these really well. Okay, so I'm going to need a table and a chair. A table, 2 tables and a chair. Okay. Let's see. Oh well, we could use the ice to make the tables and chairs. Yeah, sometimes I get someone annoyed, it's like, oh, I'm getting close to the end of the game, so... But in the end, I am liking it. Because sometimes there are like moments where you think you have the game, where like you think you can understand the game, but in the end it's like, haha, nope, it just destroys you. But most of the time what I do is that I take advantage of the environment and the AI of the game. Because I know most of the times, like, yeah, this enemy is most definitely gonna kill me in one shot, basically because I haven't spec'd much in HP. I spec'd in like a lot of the other things except HP. So I have somewhat of a glass cannon build. Let's see. Okay, so we have like the extra floor here. So let's see what's next. Okay, so we're good. So let me just extend this since I can. Yeah, so I have this like glass cannon build going on, since right now levels is becoming somewhat difficult, because right now I need like 46,000 just to level up once. And even with the increased souls gained, that's still difficult. I mean, at some point I'm going to need like 100,000 souls just to level up once. And what's funny is that I kind of ruined one storyline, which is I think the Dark Lord ending, where you go with Yuria. I ruined that somehow because when I first reached the castle that had Henri and the bonfire, I was like smashing up the place, because I know that whenever you reach a new area, there's gotta be some goodies there. So what happened is that So what happened is that like I was smashing around the place until like I found statues, and I was like, okay, I'll just destroy these statues and see what up. So I started to destroy the statues until like one of the statues had an HP, and then it said Lady Yuria, oh why? I was like, oh boy, what did I screw up? So I asked online and I realized that I screwed up the Lady Yuria's questline, and what's even more annoying is that Lady Yuria is now gone, and what disappoints me even further is that she had a weapon that I wanted, which is it's a better blade than Dark Blade. So I am somewhat annoyed that I wish I killed Yuria and took whatever she had, because she had most of the poison stuff, and I'm gonna need that poison stuff at some point. So let's see. Okay, we're good. So we have that here. We have some new rooms. Yeah, so that's basically my experience so far with Dark Souls, is that it's a brilliant game, and it kind of annoys me that even though it's a brilliant game, a lot of the other games are just following the same like concept, and now any game that comes out with even one aspect of Dark Souls, it's immediately called, oh, a Souls-like game. It just annoys me. Anyway, I think I did some improvements. I'll just see here. I think it's better if I just close this. Wait, if I close this, that would be a disadvantage for me. Oh well, I could just collect that. R. So, bounce. And the zombies will start appearing. I should do something about this lower part, but so far I am happy with how things look in this house. Wow, okay, you just go way high. I'm happy with this house. It's a cozy house. So, one of the reasons why I'm building a house like this is mainly because at some point when you kill like the first actual boss, which is Eyes of Cthulhu or whatever, you start a whole set of events, and then when the goblin army comes, you kinda need this because none of the ground goblins could approach you, but the sorcerer ones could just teleport to you. So that's kind of important, and especially when it starts raining slimes. It's raining slimes! When it starts to rain slimes, this is good because no slime could invade the place, and it's a good thing because zombies can't really approach us. So yeah, this is what I basically wanted to do. I'm not really up for a major adventure. Maybe next time we could venture to the Crimson area and just go even further. But right now my mind's just blah from, you know, sparring with Pontiff. A video will I'll come out soon for that. Anyway, I'll see you everyone later, and remember people, stay classy. Bye bye.